the money that flows from this barbershop or hair salon or braiding shop, anything that they make, right? It flows directly to the business owner. What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of The Hair CEO, where we inspire entrepreneurs in the hair industry to work on their business and not just in their business. I'm your host, Jen Druby, and we are right now in an 8-part series where we're going over all of your questions that you have or an entrepreneur in the hair industry would have when it relates to taxes. And if you tuned in last week, you know we talked about the myth of not paying taxes your first or even your second year when you're in business. So if you didn't catch that episode, make sure you listen to it or watch it, depending on how you're consuming this podcast. All right. And now today, part 2 of this 8-part series, we're going to talk about how you file your business taxes versus your personal taxes. Now, I think I've mentioned this before, but I started my first hair business straight out of college. Well, not straight out, maybe about a year after I graduated from college, because after college, I went to the Dominican Republic where I learned Spanish. And when I came back, I started importing hair products from the Dominican Republic. And so I was early in my 20s when I was doing this, and I didn't have an accountant. I didn't have really any mentors or any coaches when it came to my finances. My dad had a business, but he really wasn't doing things the right way. So the first couple of years, I don't even think I filed taxes. I mean, this was many, many years ago. So the IRS, if you're listening, I didn't make any money. I will just leave it at that. So what I want to say is that lately I've been getting questions, and this is even for myself. I didn't know how a business pays taxes versus how I pay taxes. So that's really what I want to break down today, because there is a lot of confusion around this topic of how does my business pay taxes? How do I pay taxes? How does my business file taxes? How do I as a person file my personal taxes? So hopefully by the end of this particular episode, you'll be very clear. And if you have any questions, you can DM me. I am on IG at @thehairceo_. All right, so let's jump right on in. I'm gonna give you guys an example of a barber, because you guys know I love my barbers. So let's say we're talking about a barber who is booth renting. Now this could be a barber who's in a studio. This could be a barber who has a storefront. It really doesn't matter. But the only thing that's important to know here is that he owns the business. And of course, as a booth renter, you are considered a business owner, even though you are working under another person in their barbershop. And when I say barbershop, this could also be a hair salon, right? So I know a lot of hairstylists, I know braiders tune in, so this could be you as well. You would just substitute barbershop for hair salon or braiding studio or wherever you are. If you are independent, if you are a business owner, then this pertains to you. And then you have the actual business owner. Now, when it comes to paying taxes and filing taxes, you really just can't look at this picture right here. You really have to get some more information. And the most important information is, how is this business set up? How is it structured? So there are really 4 main business structures. There's the sole proprietorship, there are partnerships, there are corporations, and then there are limited liability companies, the LLC. Those are your main 4 business structures. And you want to ask yourself how you're structured, because that is going to determine both how you pay taxes and how you file them. So for our example, let's say this person is an LLC. Now, I chose LLC for one main reason. Well, 2 reasons. The first reason is because I think a lot of business owners have this business structure where you are an LLC. You filed paperwork with your state, and you have the paperwork to prove that you are a limited liability company. The second reason that I chose this is because for tax purposes, if you are an LLC, the IRS actually treats you just like a sole proprietor. So if you are a sole proprietor, meaning you just are in business, you never filed any paperwork with your state, you just, are doing hair, cutting hair, braiding hair, but you've never filed any formal paperwork, then you are a sole proprietor, and LLCs are taxed just like sole proprietors. So in this example, I'm really giving you, 2 for 1, right? So this is really for you if you are a sole proprietor or a LLC. So when that happens, sole proprietors and LLCs are what's considered a pass-through entity. And basically that means that the money that flows from this barbershop or hair salon or braiding shop, anything that they make, right, it flows directly to the business owner. So that means let me do some different colors here. For those on the audio version, I am on YouTube and I'm doing this on a little whiteboard. So I wanted a different color. Oh, here's a different color. All right, so all of the profit or the loss flows directly to the individual, to the business owner. So there is no business taxes that you are filing come filing time, right? And filing time, if you remember, is late January to April 15th if you're not filing an extension. Now, that's when you file. Now, when it comes to paying your taxes, you're paying estimated taxes, but you're paying those estimated taxes for yourself, you as an individual. It's not the business paying tax because, like I mentioned, a LLC and sole proprietors is what's called a pass-through entity, meaning that all of these funds, whether profit or loss, go directly to the business owner. And the IRS says that LLCs are disregarded, basically meaning you're a sole proprietor in their eyes, not in your state's eyes, but at the federal level, you are the same thing as a sole proprietor. So it's not your business paying taxes, it's you as a business owner are paying the taxes. So that's really what I want to break down today, is that there is no distinguishing. There is no okay, I filed taxes for myself. Now it's time for me to file my business taxes. And I wanted to mention this because I had someone actually call me. She's not a hair professional. She's just a friend. So she called me up and she was like, Jennifer, this is my first year in business and I'm really excited. And she was like, can you file my business taxes? And I was like, well, I only work with really hair professionals, but I can definitely give you some advice. And she was like, okay, well, and I asked her, I said, where have you gone previously to get your taxes done? And she said, well, I've gone to, some big box, retail, whatever. And I said, well, do you have a problem now? Did you have a problem last year? She was like, no, but I really want to go somewhere for my business taxes. And I had to explain to her, once I found out that she is an LLC, she's not asked the government for any type of special election to be taxed as a corporation. So I had to explain to her the same thing I just explained to you guys, was that she is not filing a separate return for her business. She actually has to file the same return, that 1040, but now when she tells her tax professional that she has started a side business, she can let them know and they will attach a Schedule C. And as business owners, you may be familiar with this schedule already, but that's the form that attaches to your personal return that says profit or loss. And that's where your business information goes. And that's essentially you filing taxes, including either the profit or the loss that your business made. So I hope that clears things up. As always, Please like, rate, subscribe, leave a message, show me some love. Send this episode to a barber, hairstylist, or braider that you know may benefit from it. And I hope to see you next week, where we're going to talk about back taxes